What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another About Teams video. And, this is a day for the NHL world, Nick, where I want to thank you. You convinced me to switch to my team in Game 5. And I have to thank you for that because now you make me look like a genius. And, you stuck with your gut, stuck with the Rangers. But overall, man, it feels good. Florida wins 3-2 to now take a 3-2 series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. And boy, another great game. It looked like it was over once Florida got that empty netter. But then, of course, New York scores with less than a minute to go and try and push, but they can't get it done. For the Rangers, this was another Chris Kreider game, Nick. Wanted to get a statue built outside, but unfortunately, no one else was there with him for this one. And just another game where Florida had a majority of the possession, it felt like. Obviously, 10 shots more on goal. I know that doesn't tell the whole story, but Florida just gets a lot of pressure, and I think that's taken a toll. Igor still holding strong, only at 2 goals allowed. And he's really kept his team in it, but for me, it just looks like, once again, it looks like I think New York is still better than Boston, but it looks like kind of another series where Florida's just gaining a majority of the possessions and just, Igor's bailing them out. And like Boston was with Jeremy Swayman. And for me, I think Florida's going to win the series, whether it be in 6 or 7. They just have shown me that they're the better team. And unless New York has this second or third gear we haven't seen yet in this playoff run, I think, with all due respect to New York, I think Florida's just going to move on. I think they're the better team. They've been built for these playoff hockey moments, and they always just know how to win on the road. And now they're in control of their own destiny, heading back to Florida. Maybe I was too generous making a 7-game series. Maybe New York wins in 6. That's what we're looking at right here. But either way, it's still been a great series, and Igor's been balling to keep the Rangers in the series as much as he can. And the Rangers, I've been saying it, if you want to win, you got to have your key pieces step up. Panarin and Subbanjoj, they just haven't been there most of the series, and it's a shame. But, even when Tkachuk doesn't show up on the score sheet, he's always impacting the game, and he's just always there. But once again, you see Sam Bennett on the score sheet for Florida, and it's just their top players are always producing, and they just got the right amount of scrap with them too. So, we'll see what happens. We have a Game 6. Maybe New York backs against the wall, plays a little bit harder like we saw with Boston in Game 5 against Florida. Your season's on the line. Just play smart. But, Nick, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking my prediction is looking like it's going to go down the drain. I'm not going to switch up because
What a surprise.
I'm not want to switch up. I'll still hold out for the Rangers. But, after seeing last night, the scoreboard doesn't show it, but it felt like ever since Florida tied the game, they dominated. It felt like a dominating performance from Florida, and just New York was clinging on, hoping they'd get some sort of bounce to go their way for another goal. And they ultimately did, but that's when they were down 2 with 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was 50 seconds left. It was
So it wasn't really super timely, but Florida's just putting on display how dominant they can be, no matter who they're playing the best team in the league, President Trophy winners, and just kind of making them look like they've made every other playoff team look. They're not giving up shots. When they are giving up shots, Bobrovsky's making great saves, and they're scoring very timely goals late in games. It felt like when Florida went up 2-1 with I'm pretty sure it was at the 10-minute mark, it felt like the air just went out of Madison Square Garden. They were showing Rangers players with just their heads down. It's almost like it was an overtime goal. It felt like it ended the game because of just they're like boa constrictors. They just squeeze you and squeeze you and squeeze you, and then suck the life out.
They do.
Up and exactly.
They do.
Suffocate you. They pulled up a graphic on the TNT broadcast, and it showed the series stats, and it was exactly like the Bruins. The Panthers have 100 plus more shot attempts than the Rangers this series, and like 15 minutes more in their offensive zone than the Rangers. So it's just they just dominate all 200 feet of ice, and it's you gotta tip your cap. Whether you hate them or love them, you have to tip your cap to how well they play because they are the new style of hockey, and teams are going to be trying to copy them the best they can. But right now, it's Florida's game. I don't know who's going to be able to stop them. It's going to be a great. Actually, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far. It's a 3-2 series. Anything can happen. But
Yeah, no, I agree. It's still not over, but just Florida just has looked like the better team, more fast. Yeah. I think that's something I've been saying all playoffs. They're like faster than every team in the playoffs, and that's just proven to be a big thing. They're getting more shot attempts than everyone, and even though it's not always like that, New York's really relying on their goaltending to win them every game, and that just can't happen. And maybe if it's a game 7, one game, yeah, could happen, but out of 7-game series, best of 7, you're going to see down the stretch what team is really better. And I think New York hasn't shown me anything to see why it will go to a game 7. I think the series ends in Florida in game 6.
Like you just said it perfectly. Like it's almost like they're hoping they can just steal a game rather than pushing.
Stealing 4 out of 7 against this Florida team ain't going to be the way that they'll win the series. With that being said, though, we still got one game tonight. Dallas, Edmonton, back in Dallas, series tied 2-2. Still got full confidence in my boys. Dallas will pull this out. They'll win. Edmonton's top players, McDavid, Draisaitl, stepped up last game. Credit to them. Dallas is going to step up their game. They're going to hear the response. They're going to come out guns blazing. And Dallas is going to win by 4+ goals tonight.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know about that much, but Dallas is going to win. They are not going to go down 3-2 heading back to Edmonton. I just don't see it. Can't see it.
Okay. And
let me guess. You're going to say Edmonton will lose this one.
I'm going to agree with you. Edmonton's going to lose this one. Probably going to be a pretty close game, but they used up a lot of juice last game, even though it was 5-3 or 5-2?
5-2, yeah.
5-2. So they used up a lot of juice at home. So they're probably not going to be able to bring the full energy tonight. We might not see a Connor McDavid-esque game. So I would say the Stars will probably take this one, but then Oilers are going to rocket back-to-back to go to the Cup Finals. That's my pick.
Nick casually backdooring himself into a sports take. No surprise here, guys.
I was right the last two times.
I mean, you called me out for the Florida stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'll ride with my team. That's sticking with your team. Sticking with your predictions. Yeah, but, Dallas at home has been a great series. I'm expecting a Jake Andre bounce-back game. Very uncharacteristic game of him last time around. Not all of it was his fault. The defense was looking a little bit tired, some stupid turnovers. But should be I'm still excited to see what happens. How does Edmonton, do they continue to ride the momentum, or is Dallas able to, halt that? And like they have all the last 2 playoff runs basically, and just, be able to win when they need to. Yeah, should be very good though. I'm excited.
The one thing I think we can predict about the series is that it's unpredictable. Like this series has gone all over the place. Really, we thought the Stars looked dominant and they were going to just, run away with it. And then Edmonton comes out and beats them by 3. So now, it's kind of hands up in the air. I'm still sticking with my pick, but like this series has been so back and forth, and I love it though. I love seeing competitive series rather than blowouts every game.
For sure.
Washington Capitals-esque.
Yeah, and then Dallas was up 2-0 game 4. That's when you texted me.
Yep.
Probably already panicking about your pick. Was going to get ready to apologize about picking the Oilers.
I was writing the letter. I was writing the apology letter.
But Edmonton responded 5 goals unanswered. We'll see how Dallas responds to that tonight. But with that being said, should be very exciting.
You taking that over? Taking that over? Over 5.5 goals?
Yeah, because Skinner will have a rough game again. Or not. Last game obviously maybe 1 bad goal, but still only allowed 2. So. But Dallas, there'll be a game where they put up 4 or 5 goals like Edmonton did last game.
I think
so. Could be tonight at home. I think Dallas clamps locks in, wins.
Ooh, okay. I think
We'll
I feel
see.
like 5.5 with these two teams. I feel like that's easy money. I mean,
Yeah, free eats.
even if Dallas shuts down Edmonton, Dallas is probably scoring 5 goals, and
Yeah.
vice versa. If they don't shut them down, then it's just going to be a scoring fest. So
Yeah, no. I mean,
5.5 is probably free money. Book it here first, folks. You heard it here first. Free money. You want free money? You take the over on the Dallas Edmonton hockey game tonight. Come
damn,
back to this.
giving out betting advice like that. I like it. With that being said, though, yeah, I go Dallas money line tonight, even though Knicks and Oilers fans seems to be riding with Dallas money line tonight. For those who are listening. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening to our NHL recap and preview of tonight's game. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.